This week on the Tiger Lacrosse Report, we'll discuss the Tigers' latest game against Hofstra, and later we'll preview the Tigers' final game of the regular season as they'll take on the Drexel Dragons. Get ready, fans. The Tiger Lacrosse Report begins now. Hello, Tiger fans, and welcome to the Towson Sports Network studios for another edition of the Tiger Lacrosse Report presented by Northwestern Mutual. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas. This past Saturday, the Tigers welcomed in the pride of Hofstra in the Tigers' final home game of the regular season. Sophomore attackman Ryan Drenner scored the Tigers' only goals of the game in the second quarter. However, Hofstra regrouped in the second half, and they shut down the Tigers to win 9-2. Let's take a look at the highlights against the Pride.
Up top. Moving to his right, firing a shot and scoring for Hofstra as their number's a little difficult to read. Corey Hendrickson, 21. Now to Linares down the left. Linares trying to spin away. JoJo Ostrander's done a great job on him. Now shot and score. I spoke too soon. He comes up the right side, and Sam Linares with his 29th goal of the year.
Great ride by Max Siskin again, chasing down Romano, forcing the turnover.
Drenner turns, shoots, scores, and the Tigers finally on the board as Ryan Drenner comes up with the goal, and it's 2-1 Towson.
Hofstra doing a good job getting their sticks in the lanes, but you got to move the ball quickly and look to take those shots off of it.
Feed in front, Drenner turns, shoots, and scores. He's got his second goal of the game, and the Tigers have tied it at 2 with 5:05 remaining here in this first half of play. Comes up the left, bounces one and scores. Second time he's come up the right side and has been able to put it home. He's got his 30th goal of the year, and Hofstra leads 3-2 with 3:31 to go as he gets it to Von Bargen. Von Bargen, feed down low, shot, score. Trevor Kopecky, he found Kopecky right on the crease, wide open, and he's got the goal, and that for Kopecky is just his third goal of the season, and it's 4-2 Hofstra. Over to Davis. Feet down the left, feet in front, shot, score. Briar Davis. That's his 14th goal of the year. And Hofstra now with the biggest lead of the game, 5-2. Von Bargen comes down, feeds in front, point blank shot, goal Hofstra. Tanner Griffin. And it's 6-2 in favor of the Pride. Or actually, that's not Tanner Griffin, that's Kopecky. Passes up the right side to Hendrickson, moving in, ball deflected in front, and it rolls right to Hendrickson, who scores the goal. 7-2 Hofstra with 4:47 left in the game. The Tigers again pull the goalie. Linares trying to get through the double team. He does, turns, shoots, scores. 8-2 with 3:16 remaining. Work it over to Linares with 3:05 to go. They'll really take their time. And they score again.
And Linares with his fourth now.
The loss against Hofstra gives the Tigers their first CAA defeat, while Hofstra moves to 2-2 in the conference, keeping their postseason hopes alive. Joining me now, the head coach of the Tigers, Shawn Nadelen. And Coach, 9-2, and I know you don't like to make excuses, but Chris Selva, the goalie for Hofstra, played a fantastic game. I know you weren't pleased with your offense, but Selva did contribute to the Tigers only coming up with those 2 goals.
He played well. There's no doubt about it. We didn't shoot the ball overly well against him. You know, he's not a big goalie, but we still decided to shoot the ball kind of near him, you know, at his feet, in the frame of his body, making it easy for him to make saves. We didn't test him kind of down the pipes, down the sides, like we normally have. And he stepped up to the plate. You know, sometimes those goals go in that you shoot, you know, at a goalie's feet or near him, they flick off the stick. But he was on top of his game.
Hofstra's game plan was obvious. They were going to slow the pace down as much as they could. They would take Sam Linares and line him up on the one side, and he'd just kind of stand there, and they would run the offense. And your defense, You only gave up 9 goals, but 2 of them were empty netters late in the game when you pulled the goalie. Overall, from a defensive standpoint, how do you think the Tigers played?
Yeah, and I talked to the defense about it on Monday morning. You know, watching the film again, I didn't think it was I thought it was one of our better defensive efforts over the past 3 games. You know, I didn't think we were great against Fairfield or Delaware, but able to come up wins at those with those teams. But it was against Hofstra, I thought we were more in tune with each other. I thought we played better team defense. We definitely had some mental mistakes, mental lapses, poor decision making, and Hofstra capitalized on it. And you know, we played a lot of defense. Again, that was their game plan. You could see that, but to play a lot of defense and only to hold a team to 9 goals overall, but really 7 besides those empty netters. I thought our guys played decently.
The other thing your team did, which they've continued to do, you lead the nation in fewest turnovers per game. You only had 4 in the game, I believe. That's going to keep you, defense and not turning the ball over, that's going to keep you in every ball game. You know that from the beginning.
It helps. I think some of our shots against Hofstra actually were turnovers just because they were just poor shots and he was able to gobble them up and get out. So even though, we limited turnovers, some of our offensive possessions just weren't great. And, we cleared the ball well against them. Hofstra's not a overly aggressive riding team, so we cleared well. We were able to get things rolling. I like that we can put ourselves in position to win. We just obviously got to execute at a much better way.
All right, so the Tigers will try to bounce back this week against Drexel. We'll get to that soon. We've come to our first break. When we come back, we'll take a look at one of the Tigers' top seniors. The Tiger Lacrosse Report, presented by Northwestern Mutual with head coach Shawn Nadelen, returns right after these words.
With communication comes trust. At Northwestern Mutual, we start by getting to know you, then together build a financial plan that takes advantage of life's opportunities.
This is where the legends live, waiting for someone with better innovation. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the Under Armour Speedform Apollo. This is our rocket ship.
You'll find it on the sidewalks of Little Italy and on the porches in Catonsville. You can see it when friends meet in Mount Vernon. It's pride. Pride in our city, pride in our people. That's why MedStar Health is building the most accessible healthcare system in the region to look after everyone from Lutherville to Locust Point. So no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you're never far from MedStar.
Brian Vickers, Aaron's sponsored driver. He doesn't just love racing, he lives it.
He got the paper! Woo!
His pit crew follows him everywhere. Oddly, so does his boss.
Right, sign that.
And his passion for racing is rivaled only by his passion for errands.
No credit needed. I'll take it. Woo! Woo!
Congrats.
Errands makes owning easy through lease ownership, so you can own the life you want.
Welcome back to the Tiger Lacrosse Report, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. I'm Spiro Morekas. This special senior was recruited by Towson and has been an impact player since day one, both on and off the field. Andrew Hodgson has been a pivotal part of the Tigers' success. Unfortunately, Hodge had to see his season come to an end with a foot injury earlier in the season against Ohio State.
Is Mabus, throws it out front to Sider. Crossfield pass over to Cuccinello. Greg feeds to his right to Hodgson. And Andrew comes up gimpy and has to run off the field. Andrew Hodgson is being carted off the field. He is not walking. They are taking him in the cart off the field.
If it's something, if he can get back on the field, he's going to get back on the field. He doesn't want to end his senior season short.
I don't know, Hunter. He came running out of the locker room, and now he looks like kind of grimacing as he's walking up the side.
Kind of just, felt like it was nothing. Something that, I'll be out for a week, and then I'll be able to get right back into it. But because it was such a significant injury, I noticed that once I came out of halftime, not being able to put a lot of weight on it. It kind of hit me hard, but, I was hopeful, for the next week and a half, talking to doctors, talking to coaches and the training staff here, trying to see, what the diagnosis was. And then once I heard about, that I was getting surgery again, it kind of hit me as, one of those things where, it's a freak injury, life sometimes throws you a curveball, it's either you're gonna dwell on it, you're gonna strike out, or, you're gonna knock it out of the park with the next opportunity that comes.
It was tough because he's gone through so much with being out last year and then fighting his way. He was killing it at the beginning of the year, which was fun to watch. And then seeing him go down was tough for me because, we're pretty close as friends. And I just was hoping it wasn't that serious. And when I heard the news, I was pretty heartbroken.
My heart did just go out to him because, being a senior, already missing, his true senior year last year due to injury, and then coming back and only having half a year to finish out your career. And a kid that just loves to play so much and is, obviously, is just such a big part of what we do. You feel for that kid. I mean, you always want a kid to finish out his career on a high note, and he wasn't able to do that. It was definitely tough, and frustrating, but he's like, Andrew's response was great. He just, he didn't dwell. He wasn't poor me at all. He was just like, hey, it stinks, but it's what we have to deal with, and we're moving on.
Yeah, Max.
He's been awesome. He really has been. He's my #1 supporter on the sideline. After every good play I have, he's the one, calling me over and giving me some insight on what I did well, what I did bad, and he's great for the team. He's good spirits, and someday he's gonna be a good coach if that's what he pursues to do.
Right away, first game that I was out, you go up to we go up to Binghamton, and you see, my fellow fifth-year senior, kill it, and have a great game, and then throughout the rest of those games, just the fact that the team was still doing good, and my teammates and my friends, my family were we're stepping it up and dominating out there, which is cool. He's been a huge role in our offense for 5 years or 4 years what he's played. So it's definitely we're playing for him. He's the guy that's the spirit for us on the sideline, and if he was out there, he plays with a lot of heart, as you know, watching him play. So I try to play with that same heart.
Hodgson does it with 1 second left in the half. Andrew Hodgson gives Towson a 4-3 lead.
So just like my injury last year during the season, I was able to be on the sideline and fill a lot of that coaching role, so to say, and try to get those young kids to try to buy into the system and buy into the coaching staff and everything like that, trying to mentor them along, and they're very responsive with it. I'm just excited to be here and still be around the guys for the last year, and I'm definitely going to enjoy it.
Hodgson, before his injury, was tied with Joe Sider as the leading scorer on the team. We wish him nothing but the best moving forward. Coming on the other side of the break, we'll preview the Tigers' final game of the regular season against the Dragons of Drexel. We'll be back with the Tiger Lacrosse Report presented by Northwestern Mutual right after these words.
Brian Vickers, Aaron's sponsored driver. He doesn't just love racing, he lives it.
He got the paper! Woo!
His pit crew follows him everywhere. Oddly, so does his boss.
Red, sign that.
And his passion for racing is rivaled only by his passion for errands.
No credit needed. I'll take it.
Congrats.
Aaron's makes owning easy through lease ownership, so you can own the life you want.
You'll find it on the sidewalks of Little Italy and on the porches in Catonsville. You can see it when friends meet in Mount Vernon. It's pride. Pride in our city, pride in our people. That's why MedStar Health is building the most accessible healthcare system in the region to look after everyone from Lutherville to Locust Point. So no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you're never far from MedStar.
With communication comes trust. At Northwestern Mutual, we start by getting to know you, then together build a financial plan that takes advantage of life's opportunities.
Virtual Wallet can help you be that person who's good with money. See what's free to spend, move money with a slide, save with a shake. Feel good about your decisions.
Welcome back to the Tiger Lacrosse Report, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. I'm Spiro Morekas. The Tigers remain atop the CAA even after losing to Hofstra this past weekend. This week, they look to cap off the #1 seed heading into the CAA tournament with a win over Drexel. Drexel is currently at 2-2 in the conference, tied with Hofstra and UMass, so they definitely need a win to keep their playoff hopes alive. Coach, you lost last week to Hofstra. That puts you in a situation where you know you have to win the game on Saturday to host the CAA tournament, and I'm sure your players know that too.
They do, and they know that that we as a team, obviously didn't perform against Hofstra. We fell on our face, and Hofstra, took it to us right from the start. And our guys were frustrated with their performance, with the way they approached that game. So this week's been much better today. We had a great practice, out there on the field with some real good intensity. Guys were focused in. Guys are looking forward to, coming up Saturday and then putting a much better Towson Lacrosse team effort on the field.
You look, and last week Hofstra was a team that knew they had to win if they wanted to keep their CAA tournament hopes alive. Drexel, same thing. They know they've got to win to keep their CAA tournament hopes alive. So you're fighting against an animal that's been caged, that is backed in a corner. But you guys, in a way, you're backed in a corner too, because you want to host that tournament. So you're going to have two teams really scrambling here this Saturday. Absolutely.
We want to beat Drexel, a team that we lost to, last year, to finish out our season in the CAA semis in overtime. So we got that playing with it. Obviously, Drexel's got to, win to give themselves a chance in the tournament. We got to win to give ourselves a chance in the tournament. Both teams have a lot to play for, and I think we have a little bit more in the fact that our last time out, which was against Hofstra, definitely wasn't what we're capable of doing. So being able to get, catch our stride, really play our best lacrosse going into, what hopefully is a CAA tournament bid for us. With when we win, we do get a bid, but being able to do that is really what we're looking for. One area that's going to be key in this game is face-offs. And last year, Nick Saputo, their senior, dominated you guys in the regular season and in the conference tournament game. Alec Berkeley has really started to come on over the last few weeks, so that's going to be a key matchup on Saturday. It is. Saputo's terrific. Not only is he a great technician at the face-off X, he's also extremely competitive. And just watching him on film, you can't help but be impressed with how competitive he is, how much he wants to earn that ball for his team, and he stays engaged, even if he doesn't win the ball outright off the draw, being able to get the ground balls and staying active that way. Alec and our face-off guys know they're going to have their hands full, how good he is, but I think Alec has really responded, especially going against Chris Clark, who is extremely talented for Hofstra, going against Fairfield and Delaware's guys. The CAA's got strong face-off guys, and Alec has been battle-tested, and I expect him to come out ready to go. And if we struggle, we have options to go to. Last week against Hofstra, you had Linares and Maleva, the two offensive guys for Hofstra. This week, you've got Ryan Belka and Cole Schaefer. They're the two main cogs of the Drexel offense. What do you see in those two guys? They're terrific. Belka's probably, now that Hodge is out of the mix, probably the best midi in the CAA. There's no doubt about that. He's terrific with or without the ball. He's very dangerous with it. You have to respect him there. Cole has got great IQ. He's got terrific hands, can finish the ball, but he's become more of a quarterback for the Drexel offense now. And both those guys, really, keep things moving for them. And very, Ryan's a midi, and he barely comes off the field. So he's playing pretty much every possession. Cole's out there as an attackman. So those guys are very dangerous. Their goal-keeping situation, much like Fairfield, they've made a change in the goal.
And Jimmy Joe Granite has played very well, giving up less than 8 goals per game.
Yeah, he's terrific, and I think it goes to, their face-off wins, what they do there, being able to play a little bit less defense than maybe some other teams. He's a good-sized kid in the cage, much like Tyler for us. So there's a little bit less net to see when you're shooting. And defensively, they're sound. Coach Volker does a great job with those guys and tying them into kind of the team defensive approach. They'll get out, they'll challenge you. They're not just going to sit back and pack it in from what we've seen. They'll pressure out and look to make you really move the ball by moving your legs, and that's something that we haven't seen in a little bit. So it'll be a challenge for us.
Your offense, again, just scoring the 2 goals last week against Hofstra. What do you talk to them about this week? I know they're probably down and feel like they let the team down by their play last Saturday. What do you do to kind of get their spirits up?
They were down. There's no doubt about it. They know they didn't play well, but we pushed through that on Monday. Our first practice back, and I'm not a big believer in hangovers and hanging your head and feeling sorry for yourself. Our players know that. It's we're lucky we have another game to play. And you look to regroup and put your best effort in that practice and just move forward from there. You can't dwell on the past. And the offensive guys, talking to them, we've played well. Obviously we know we're capable of that. We shot the ball poorly. We weren't sharp, in our dodges and off-ball movement. So it's more just seeing that on film, seeing what it looked like, also seeing the good stuff from previous games and from practice clips, and recognizing the difference between the two, and then also being able to execute that on the practice field and realizing what it's like to be going full speed and game speed in practice compared to what we did against Hofstra.
Well, Drexel's won 5 of the last 6, but the Tigers own the all-time series record 38-9. We have to take one final break. We will be back with more of the Tiger Lacrosse Report presented by Northwestern Mutual right after this.
This is where the legends live, waiting for someone with better innovation. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the Under Armour Speedform Apollo. This is our rocket ship.
Virtual Wallet can help you be that person who's good with money. See what's free to spend, move money with a slide, save with a shake. Feel good about your decisions.
Strong can heal from miles away. Unite us for a common good. And turn a simple video into endless laughter. Strong can take you all the way to the summit.
So cool!
Blue. Think what Strong can do for you.
Can I play too? She asked.
AT&T's network now has the nation's strongest 4G LTE signal.
With communication comes trust. At Northwestern Mutual, we start by getting to know you, then together build a financial plan that takes advantage of life's opportunities.
Welcome back to the Tiger Lacrosse Report. And Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck against the Dragons on Saturday.
Great. Thanks, Spiro.
As we have mentioned, the Tigers will be playing their final game of the regular season Saturday at Vitus Field in Philadelphia. Game time is 1 o'clock, where they hope to lock up the #1 seed in the CAA. If you can't make it to the game, you can follow all the action online and for free at towsontigers.com starting at 12:45 with the pregame show hosted by myself and Hunter Lochte. Thanks for watching another episode of the Tiger Lacrosse Report presented by Northwestern Mutual, and go Tigers.